Hey photographers, have you heard that you need to have a blog on your website? Or maybe you already have a blog and you've written some posts, but you're not really seeing any results? Well, then this video is for you. So first off, I'm going to jump into why we should have a blog, because if we don't know this, we don't really know what we're doing then, why we're doing the thing we're doing. And if we don't know why we should do the thing we're doing, why are we going to do it? So the why is probably the most important part to stay motivated while we're blogging, because we need to be in this for the long haul. We need to keep going after it. That's the only way we're going to see results. So blogging is one of the best ways to get your SEO going. SEO is search engine optimization, and that is the number one reason that we want to run a blog, because we want to create great content that shows Google who we are, what we do, what we shoot, where we shoot it, so that Google can show us for the right search results in our area and people can start finding us rather than us spending all our time doing outreach. So number one reason that we want to blog is to improve our SEO. Now, the second reason, this is often overlooked, but your clients come to your website, they want to learn more about you, they want to get a feel for what you do. They also need to see proof that you shoot in the areas that they want to shoot in. They also need to see proof that you get great photos consistently. And they want to get a feel for who they're going to work with. So this is the second huge benefit of why we would be blogging. Now, like I said earlier, blogging is a long game. This is not something that you just kind of casually do once a year, something like that, and put a post up. What we want to do is consistently blog so that we can cover more points. And the reason this is because of something that SEOs call topical authority. Topical authority means we are showing that we are the expert on everything that we're talking about, that we know what we're saying, that we do what we say. And the more we're posting and the more content we're creating that reflects this, the more that Google can see, hey, I should definitely be ranking this dog photographer for Denver, Colorado. Like, this photographer should be at the top of the ranks and showing up. So blogging is one of the key avenues of our marketing approach when it comes to SEO. It's not the only approach, but it is a very important one to establish enough content on our website. So let's go ahead and jump into some ideas that you can take right now to start creating blog posts that are going to work for your SEO, which is the most important part here, and will also help inform any potential clients as to what you shoot, how you shoot, and what the whole experience is like working with you. Because I'll be honest, when you go to most photographers' websites, you have no feel for what it's like working with them. You just see a couple nice shots, and hiring someone off that is a lot less likely than getting to understand who they are and what they actually do and how they work, what their personality's like. That's so important. So let's go ahead and jump into a few of these ideas that you can take and start writing blog posts with right away. So number one, this is one of the most simple. It's the one most people have heard of, but share a shoot. Have you had a recent photo shoot where you got some great photos? Share a couple photos, talk about the experience of the shoot, talk about where the shoot happened, and this is all going to help inform Google of what you're shooting and where you're doing it. That's excellent. And anybody that visits your site is going to say, oh, look at those awesome photos they got in this park. I want to get some shots there as well. Number two, FAQ topics. So any question that anybody asks you, what should I wear? What do I need to bring? How long will a shoot last? Anything like that. If you can address these questions and content on your site, it breaks down that sales barrier. And when people find your site, they're going to learn what they need to know, and they're going to be asking less questions. So you'll have a more educated client coming to you. So that works on several fronts, and that's very helpful. Here's a good one any photographer can use, and it's why would I hire a professional versus just getting some shots on my phone? So just an article talking about the professional difference. This is a great article to post, and it kind of helps motivate people to be like, okay, you know what? I really should hire someone because I'm not going to get shots that are this good on my own. The next one is getting comfortable in front of the camera. So a lot of people feel very uncomfortable. If you can create an article that can kind of help them prep for what they can expect and some tips that they can use during the photo shoot to stay comfortable, it'll make your job easier and it'll make it easier on your clients. Here's one that seems a little indirect. It's photography tips. So yeah, I know you're a photographer. You don't want to give it all away for free and you don't want to tell people everything they should do so they go out and shoot on their own. But when we give a couple quick tips, people actually appreciate these little tips for when they're getting their photos, and it's not really going to make them any less likely to hire you. So what these articles do is they kind of give you more trust, or give them more trust in you, where they say, oh, this person's helping me. They have these great tips. They clearly know what they're talking about. And in my opinion, that would make me more likely to hire someone. Shot breakdowns is the next one. And I love this one. It's where I take a shot that, maybe took a lot of thought, took a lot of effort, took some special lighting, something like that. And I go ahead and I talk about how I captured the shot. I talk about the people in the shot. I talk about the location. I talk about how I edited the shot, if I used anything special or if I removed anything. This is a common one for pet photographers, where they go in and they talk about, removing the leash so that it's a nice clean photo of your pet and you never knew that someone was actually standing next to them holding the leash. These inside looks give people a real feel for what it's like to work with you. Next is what's in my bag. So what are you bringing with you when you shoot? What camera are you using? What lenses are you using? This reinforces to Google that you're a photographer, you're talking about gear, and it also lets people know, if they're curious, like, hey, what kind of stuff are they using? I know as a professional photographer that I still want to know, whoever I'm hiring, what gear they're using. I'm very curious about that, and a lot of people are. This is one of my favorites, and it is sharing a personal story. Share something about yourself, why you became a photographer. Now, maybe you already have this on the About section of your site, but you can go into more detail on your blog, or you can break down some moment in your life that made you so motivated, or some powerful experience that you had with a client. Sharing this kind of makes you more personable, it makes you more real, and it really gives people a glimpse into who they're going to be working with. This next one is kind of a ninja approach. And I really like it because it's kind of seems strange, but it's like how to hire this photographer, how to hire a dog photographer, how to hire a senior portrait photographer, like what to look for. And you can list off a lot of points that are your strengths. So look for someone who has a consistent portfolio, consistent tone to their images. Look for someone who has been doing this for more than 3 months. Look for someone who has a social media profile that goes back 2 years. Things like this are really going to help people understand, and at the same time, they're going to help them want to hire you because you are all of the things on this list. Should clients order prints, or should they get the prints done themselves? I like this article because it kind of talks about how you have the eye for this, you have the experience for this, and this is why they should probably order from you rather than just getting the digitals and trying to handle it all themselves. You simplify the process, you work with the best printers, you can advise them on things. This is a really helpful one if this is what you tend to do, if you tend to actually want to sell the wall art versus the digital files. I think this one is really fun. It's questions that you should ask a photographer before hiring. Think about your clients. Think about the questions you get all the time and list these in this article and address each one. And also think about, if you were hiring someone, what would you want to know? And what are clients not asking that they should be? This is a fun article to put together, and it breaks down a lot of those barriers with any potential new clients. So let's say you're a family photographer. One thing that can help you with SEO is to create a list of, say, 10, 20 areas around you that are like, 10 of the best playgrounds, 20 of the best playgrounds, 10 of the best parks to walk your dog, your family dog. This could be like a pet photographer. Articles like this show Google all the locations you serve. It's kind of a stealth way of just saying, hey, I work in these areas. Google, rank me for these locations. And when we get really specific to specific neighborhoods and parks and things like that, Google connects the dots and they see this is the area you serve. You are legitimately working where you say you are, and they are more likely to recommend you because of this. Another fun approach is the off-the-wall creative shoot idea for your niche. So let's say you're a senior portrait photographer and you want to do something like, hey, we do trampoline shots, something like that, of athletes jumping and flipping on trampolines as part of your portrait session. Like, let's make it fun. Let's make it lively. Any ideas? And maybe you've already done these and you can just write about it and talk about, hey, I'm open to kind of trying unique things to get unique shots for you. So it's not just going to be the run-of-the-mill average stuff. This stuff makes you stand out and becomes a unique selling proposition for your business. I also love the idea of writing about different photography styles. So maybe you're a photographer and you shoot really high key. Everything's super bright and beautiful, but you know another photographer in your area that shoots, or in a different area, that shoots very like saturated and it's a whole different style. You know, every photographer kind of has their own style, and it comes down to the way they shoot and also the way they edit. And creating an article about this where you kind of analyze your style, you talk about your style, and then you talk about a couple other photographers, this is helpful to people because not everybody's going to be a perfect fit for your style of photography. They might want to work with one of these other photographers, and you could even arrange it as like a referral with the other photographers. But it also can help them link to you like, hey, check out this guide about different photography. So let them know that you put together this guide and you talk about different photography styles, and there's a good chance they will link to you. When we get links, that helps our SEO. And for our last one, I want to talk about like sideline niches. So let's say you're a wedding photographer. A sideline niche is wedding vendors, right? They aren't competing with you. They might work with different photographers, but they aren't competing with you. Talk about a wedding vendor or a wedding venue. Talk about what makes them special. Feature them. Create an article going in depth about your favorite wedding venue and let them know that you posted this because they're going to tell their audience about it as well. So it's going to be very helpful on numerous fronts, and it also helps with Google because now if somebody is searching for a wedding at that venue, maybe your page will start to show up closer to the top and they'll be able to hire you because they saw you first. Now, these tips are just the tip of the iceberg, and this whole approach is something I want you to view as long-term. Don't try and sit down and crank out 45 blog posts today. Maybe write a list of your first 45 ideas, and then start writing them once a week, once every 3 weeks, whatever cadence you're most comfortable with, because first off, we don't want to just flood our site with thin, shallow content where, it's a paragraph here and an image. Instead, we want to go a little more in depth. We want to feature an image. We want to really talk about it. We want to feature a few images. We want to cover every detail we can in the article and make it as enjoyable and comprehensive as possible so that Google will have more of a chance of stumbling over more keywords and your visitors will learn more about you and your business. Now, if you're looking for more ideas, I put together a list of 42 blog post ideas. Each one of these can be broken down into a bunch of different articles. So go ahead and click the link below if you want to check that out. And then give this channel a subscribe, like this video if you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.